know where you are. This is no longer any mystery. You are tuned to the last hour of the week here this Sunday night, May 9th, Mother's Day in the Twin Cities. So all you mothers, you mellow out now, because we're bringing you from the ballroom an extra fine musical program with my old pal, the inimitable Lonnie Knight. Just Lonnie and me sitting up here in the ballroom. We got a couple of bottles of beer with us, and we're just going to play music and talk a little bit. Hope you enjoy this. Lowell, it's all yours.
Jimmy's guitar is an old guitar. It plays so sweet and high. Lets you believe in magic. Just give it half a try. Jimmy's songs are old songs from the heart and hands and mind, fit with the sun and the moon and the stars and the wind and the rain just fine. Singing a hallelujah, bless my soul. It's sweet country music and rock and roll. Born of believing, believing, believing in life. Singing a hallelujah, clap your hands, follow your heart to a better land. Born of believing, believing, believing in life. Born of believing, believing in life. Jimmy's house is an old house, full of rocks and paths and time. Feel like I'm soaring on an eagle's wing, just drinking Jimmy's wine. And Jimmy's heart is an old heart, but it's filled with the dreams of a child. Jimmy's life is a stallion, rushing free and running wild. Singing a hallelujah, bless my soul. It's sweet country music and rock and roll. Born of believing, believing, believing in life. And it's hallelujah, clap your hands and follow your heart to a better land. Born of believing, believing, believing in life. Born of believing, believing, believing in life. Jimmy's guitar is an old guitar. It plays so sweet and high. Lets you believe in magic, just give it half a try. Jimmy's life's in that old guitar. Take it down and let it ring. Now Jimmy never taught me how to live, but Jimmy taught me how to sing. Singing a hallelujah, bless my soul. It's sweet country music and rock and roll. Born of believing, believing, believing in life. Singing a hallelujah, now clap your hands and follow your heart to a better land. Born of believing, believing, believing in life. Born of believing, 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 believing. Born of believing, believing, believing in life.
place. You've been here often enough before.
A couple times.
Yeah, you know what's going down.
First time I've been to this particular ballroom, though.
I think we can be honest with listeners. This program is brought to you from the ballroom, but is as often recorded somewhere else. In fact, this is the daytime. We're way off in Minneapolis.
Sure is.
Yeah. That's why the beer goes down so nice and easy here. We're just sitting in the Blueberry Studios amid the pictures and instruments. Lon, you've been traveling around some of late, all kinds of different places, and writing new songs, and suffering some new experiences.
Well, enjoying some, too. I can't say it's all been suffering.
I didn't mean suffering in the sad sense. I mean suffering in the sense that we all suffer this life out. You start at one point and you suffer through to the other point. I'll bum one of those from you.
Okay.
One of them funny little cigarettes with yellow paper on it. Hey, it looks good. It smells good. Let's
My
talk.
mother is listening, seeing as how this is Mother's Day. Explain to her that this is a Marlboro, would you?
It is a Marlboro. It is for sure. Lonnie, Mrs. Knight, this is a Marlboro cigarette. Got a tattoo right on it and everything. Lon, let's hear some more music from you and then talk about your travels and where you've been to and what's been happening with you. Just pick some pretty stuff for us.
All right, I'll do you a song that was written by Gus Dewey from City Mouse. Mankato's Only Good
College
Time.
circuit tour.
Yeah, it was my agent Sandy Krantz with All Our Live booked it through the NEC.
How was it?
It was pretty good most of the time. When you go into an area and you're basically unknown, it all depends on how much advertising the school does and how much interest they've generated in their facility as a place for good music in the first place. And if the place has a bad reputation and they don't advertise, then people won't come. You wind up playing for 9 people. If they do advertise, if they do work at it, you'll get a full house and it'll be a nice show.
Did you get reviews out there? Do you collect reviews as you go around like that?
I tried to. Most every place said that they were going to review it, and so we gave them addresses to mail the reviews to, and we received one out of the whole bunch of them.
Huh. Your album was reviewed a few insiders ago by Scott Bartell, and I think in the current issue, I think it's still the current issue of the Insider, there's a lovely letter from a fellow in Wisconsin, am I right? Somewhere? Michigan? Somewhere.
St. Paul, I think.
Was that where he was from?
I just met him the other night.
That's the East
Doing a
Coast,
little
too.
Country western gig out in Chanhassen, and he was out there.
Yeah, it was an awfully nice letter. I hope he's listening in because he expressed in that short letter some feelings a lot of us have about you and your music around this town. We'll talk about some of that stuff as we go along. How about you pick another tune, and we'll talk some about Austin, Texas, and that funny mask you're wearing.
Maybe since my voice is in such rotten shape today, I should... This song's becoming an institution with the Blueberry Bill Hour anyway.
You're gonna do that right off, huh? indeed, Lonnie.
Thank you.
One of the sweetest things about your playing is how you evolve. You change that. Now, I've heard you play that, I don't know, a half dozen times or more. Changed every time.
Well, every time I hear Norman do it, he changes it.
Yeah.
You know, I heard Norman Blake do it on your show, and he did it very slow.
Yes.
And really moody.
Yeah.
And I talked to someone who just saw him in Ames, Iowa, and he did the tune, and did a verse slow and did a verse extremely fast. And so either by hearing about the changes or, you know, it's one of those songs that you can do that with.
Yeah.
And it's,
you play it beautifully. Has Norman heard you play it?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think that would be one of the embarrassing moments of my life to have to try and play that tune.
That'd be a trip. The next time he's in town, we're going to get together here in this ballroom and have ourselves a little party, because we found him a real easy person to work with, and we'll get an audience here and we'll do a little something.
That'd be
swap
fun.
licks.
Yeah.
That was Norman Blake's Old Brown Case, composed, I think, in a motel room in Minot, North Dakota. So he says, and played by Lon. You got a nice jazzy something into there. You did that at the extent, too. You're getting some new ideas up on the top.
Yeah, just keep doing it. Have to do it different after a while.
It's a fine instrumental tune, and you really play it. You're about the only other person I know besides Mr. Blake who does that song. We were traveling with you around out to Ohio and Michigan and western Pennsylvania, and then you went on down to
Texas.
Austin.
Yes. I didn't go to Austin specifically. I went down to do college shows in Amarillo, El Paso, and a town called Beaumont, which is out east of Houston. Austin was centrally located, and Fred Archer was there, so I figured I would stay there. This is a 600-mile drive from Austin to all of the rest of the places I was playing, and they were all in different directions. The place is huge. While I was in Austin, I wound up hanging out in some of the clubs and doing a few guest sets and getting work and falling in love with the music scene down there. So I've been back since, and plan on going again as soon as possible.
Back to Austin.
I think so, in a while, sometime this summer.
We talked about this, Lon, before. That was a place that was real compatible for you, that you liked the music scene there a lot. Is it the freedom for creative musicians to play down there? Is it the audiences? What makes that such a nice scene?
I don't even know where to begin. Part of it's the audiences, part of it is the freedom for creative musicians. They have the progressive country scene in Austin, and so they have their own music. And I think what happens is that the audiences are geared to listening to performers doing their own music, by and large. I mean, they'll do Jerry Jeff Walker tunes and Willie Nelson tunes and stuff, but amidst that will always be a lot of their own music. And all of the songwriters in Austin will do songs by the other songwriters in Austin, and so there's a huge musical cooperative between the musicians themselves, all pushing their own material and each other's material, so the audiences are aware of that. And I went down there, and I don't really play progressive country. I think I'm getting more towards that just because it's a really nice idiom to work in. But I got up on stage and I was shocked because they listened, and they listened in a way that they don't do in bars up here, and it was really nice, you know.
That's nice. Is a good part of that Willie Nelson's influence in that area?
I think so. I think he brought the term progressive country to Austin, and he lives there and works out of there.
Yeah. Must have a profound influence. And Fred, whom you mentioned, will be a guest on this program June 6th, a few Sunday nights from now. Looking forward to that. Play something else, Lon.
Play something else.
Yeah. More music every hour than any other radio station, right here on KDWB.
Excuse the tuning.
On that fancy Martin guitar of yours, tuning sounds good.
Well, it was tuned when I bought it. Honest.
Yeah, it might be in heat with this weather.
Give me water when I'm thirsty, and a bed that's wide and hard when I lay down and I'm weary. Put a window by my head so I can look at the stars. I am a stranger to your country, though I lived here all home beyond your borderlines. They call it the dark side, the dark side. Side. That's where some men go to hide. That's where some men plant their lives, others find their souls. There is a dark side for every man somewhere inside. The life that sings and the blood that screams and the tears that burn like coals. Good friends, when I'm open, put a guitar in my hands, and I will sing you a whole lot of sweet songs about lovers and moons and wheels and foreign lands. But give me silence when I'm silent. Give me room to lose my mind in this land beyond your senses. When I follow the dark side, the dark side. Now there is a dark side, and that's where some men go to hide. That's where some men plant their lives, others find their souls. There is a dark side for every man somewhere inside. The life that sings and the blood that screams, the tears that burn like coal. Now give me water when I'm thirsty, and a bed that's wide and hard when I lay down and I'm weary. Put a window by my head so I can look at the stars.
Mother's Day. Lonnie, for your mother and for mine too. It's a good mood. That's a good mood. The first album that you did, which we featured a year and a half ago, thereabouts, had some fine lyric poetry, or prose poem, I guess, on the inside of it that I remarked when we did that album that I liked very much. I just looking for it here on my right, and I don't find it. It must be upstairs somewhere. Have you done anything like that since then?
No, I haven't written anything like that since then.
Oh, I really like that. I like that a lot.
I used to write a lot of prose years and years ago, and was telling somebody that I used to, and got in the mood and sat down and wrote a couple things, and it was turned on for a couple days, and then it was turned off again, and I haven't written since then.
Well, now we traveled with you down to Austin, back to Minneapolis, and you're playing some gigs in and around the Midwest here. A week from tonight, you'll be at the Coffee House Extempore.
Yep.
Sunday, May 16th. You playing by yourself?
Yeah, somebody's opening, I don't know who.
On May 16th, the whole night. Okay, Lonnie Knight fans, that's the place to be 1 week from tonight at the Coffee House Extempore, 325 Cedar in Minneapolis. What else around these parts, Lon, are you doing?
Well, nothing right around here. We're working on a date at Williams Pub, which is still in the tentative stages. And I'll be going to Chicago tomorrow, if this is Sunday.
This is Sunday.
This is Sunday, yes.
Yeah.
I'll be going to Chicago tomorrow with City Mouse for a couple of days. I'm playing Carleton College in Northfield, playing a place called the Blue River Cafe in Milwaukee. And that's about it at the moment.
I haven't heard about the Blue River Cafe.
I haven't heard too much about it. There was just something written up, I believe, in the Insider. It might even be in this issue.
Yeah, is that the place? I read that article. That name didn't connect with me. Kind of a good folk place.
Right, named after Eric Anderson's album, I understand.
Got it. Right, got it. Yeah, that is the place. Yeah, that sounds like a good gig. In Chicago, you're at Dirty Nelly's.
Right.
Yeah. Ever been there before?
Nope, never been there. Don't know a whole lot about the gig. I'm doing a couple of solo sets, and City Mouse is backing me up on a set. And
how about Mankato? Are you down that way?
I'm down in Mankato right now. I just got back.
Oh, you did?
Did a couple of nights at the Burgundy House, and then sat in with the Mouse for the rest of the week, and we rehearsed for the Chicago gig.
Let's take a moment here, Lon, and rehearse for a station break, and then we can come right back on some more music. This is the Blueberry Bill Hour, and you are tuned to the #1 music station in the Twin Cities, KDWB. It is now almost halfway through the last hour of the week. I want to thank our guests last Sunday night for excellent music, the amazing Tim Sparks, the amusing Tom Lieberman, and the astonishing Prudence Madsen. That was a fine program.
Hey, Prudence.
Yeah, fine program. Just first-rate music all the way around. My heart was broken by listening to I'm Just a Lonely Co-Ed. Next Sunday night on this program, Prisoner's Luck, a new group here locally in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Other guests upcoming: Jan Stroop, blues street singer; Brooke Ramel, 9-year-old torch singer. And on into June, that's right, on into June, Fred Arger. And you, listeners, if you are a local musician, you know what to do. Drop me a card or a letter here to Blueberry Bill at KDWB Radio. I'd be pleased as punch to hear from you. P.O. Box 7-630, St. Paul, Minnesota 55119. If there's something you want to hear or something on your mind, let me know about it. What's on my mind right now is to listen to some more music from Lonnie Knight.
Brand new kind woman, so hard to find. Let me down easy when you leave me behind. Let me down easy. Let me down slow. Let me down easy. When it's time to go, tell me lies, real lies that I don't want to know. All the reasons you can see. Let me down easy when you set yourself free. Brand new heartbreaker, I know you won't stay. Let me down easy. Take it all away. Let me down easy. Let me be blind. Let me down easy. When you leave me behind, treat me kind, but don't change your mind, 'cause I'd rather not suffer anymore at your hands. Let me down easy. Let me feel like a man. easy. When it's time to go, tell me lies, real lies that I don't want to know. All the reasons you conceal let me down easy. When you set yourself free, let me down easy. When you set yourself free, oh.
Gee, that's a fine song, Lonnie. Let Me Down Easy.
That one also is mostly Gus Dewey's. I wrote one verse in that, and the rest of it was his.
That's a nice tune, real nice tune.
We've been to the same place a couple of times, I think.
Yeah, and you're there again.
Yep.
And so am I. So that's, that's going around, isn't it?
Boy, it really is.
What about romance? We're talking about DIVORCE here, I think, which you're going through for maybe the second time.
Second time, yeah.
I'm going through for the second time. Well, we have a party and burn our marriage licenses or something. Have an unmarriage party.
Oh, we had a marriage counselor for a while. We had a plan to, he's got all his plaques up on the wall, his diplomas and his different things. We were at one point in a rather perverse mood thinking about making up a little gilt-edged plaque for him in Old English script that said, "Nice try, Jerry." But I don't think we're going to do that.
I know. I went to a marriage counselor, too. And I said the problem seems to be that nobody listens to me. And he looked up and he said, "Next."
Yep.
What about romance? What happens in a tall traveling troubadour's heart, guitar songwriting playing fella's heart, with romance? What's the problems with that?
I'm still trying to figure it out. I know a lot of it is being on the road. Most of the things that happen to me, the good things and the bad things, happen to me away from my wife. And so there's no first-hand way for me to translate that to her. If I need strength, the most I get is a phone call. If she needs strength, the most she gets is a phone call. And it doesn't quite work, I mean, she's got her own life to live, and she has to face that on a day-to-day basis without me being there. And so she learns to do that. And so the thread that keeps people together when they're living together and are together all the time sometimes isn't there. And I think that's part of what happened with us.
And I know this is going down with Fred, too, whom we talked about, and others who are friends of ours. There must be something, Lonnie, that makes it difficult when a man follows the muse to also be a good husband or a good, around-the-house guy. Because when the muse calls, you got to follow her. Is there something of that in you?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. There's something of that in everybody who does this.
Yeah, the creative process. Play another tune.
Uh-oh, gotta think of one now.
I thought of one if you feel up for it.
You got a request?
Railroad Hat.
Railroad Hat. I'll do a short version.
Okay.
Train, I could sing those railroad blues. But I live in the city ways and means. The only tracks I roll on are the tracks of railroad dreams. Cowboy hat and I've got some cowboy shoes. All I need's the open range and I could sing those cowboy blues. But I buy my food at the grocery, I get my cigarettes from a box. I'm too busy worrying about closed doors and locks. I can't talk about the four winds, 'cause I don't know but one that rolls round my window, come to chase away the sun, while the newspaper dances in the gutter where the rains can run, can run. But now I've got a dreamer's hat and I've got some dreamer's shoes. I've got lots of dreams and I can sing those dreamer's blues. So listen to the music and follow where it leads. No one has to know about the things I've never seen.
Railroad Hat from Lonnie. That's from Song for a City Mouse. And I think that, in fact, it might be about the third time you've done that song on this show. I think you did it live back a year and a half ago. All right, we talked about romance and traveling. Now here you are back in this area working, and we hope you're going to stay around a little bit now.
Oh, I'm planning on staying at this point.
Lon, you've traveled around. In fact, you've been around this music scene in Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, this metropolitan area, the state, for 10 years or more, working in different fashions, wearing different masks with different groups, and you've been traveling around a lot this year. Do you have any impressions about the music, the way the music is done here from a business point of view? Say the way club owners book, the way the media covers it, as compared to Austin or other places you've been?
I've been trying to think of a concise way to bring it all out, because I've been chewing my gums in front of all kinds of people since I came back from Austin. I've known for a long time that people can't really make it out of Minneapolis, right? I mean, you go someplace else, you get some national fame, some credibility, and you come back, and then it's okay. Then people accept you, you know, on a bigger level as more than a local musician. I thought it was that way every place, and I went down to Austin, got into the music scene down there, and realized that it wasn't. And it freaked me out. I came back here, I was very depressed about the music scene in Minneapolis, very uptight, and I was going to leave and go someplace else and do it somewhere else. Since then, I've changed my thinking about that, because I know that all of the potential is here. The musicians are here, the studios are here, and the money is here, but there's just no cohesive factor to make it work here at this point. I think there are some good steps being made. A lot of people are doing things, but by and large, you know, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
What kind of thing in a large metropolitan area like this, what kind of thing would make that cohesive? A couple years ago, the Twin Cities Music Conference was organized, and that seemed to have some good energy going, but then it kind of fizzled. It just sort of went down, and nobody heard from it again.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything change as a result of that, which is too bad, because I think a lot of good points were brought up during that.
Right, but now, to whom are those points to be made? Is it partly the media? Is the media, say the local papers, are they unresponsive to local musicians, do you think?
Well, at the risk of losing whatever responsiveness they have to me, yes, I think they are unresponsive, by and large. All I can do at this point is draw differences between Minneapolis and say, the Austin scene, and I'm sure it's happening in other places. But in Austin, once a week, in the American Statesman, which is the, you know, parallel to the Trib here, they would run a couple of articles on everybody in town that was playing every place. You know, they'd go out and they'd do the groundwork, they'd find out who was where, and they'd write it up. Maybe feature one artist a week, say a lot about him, but there would always be that emphasis on the local original music going on in town. Now, Austin is a much smaller town than Minneapolis. It might have something to do with it, too. And it seems like there's a whole lot of energy devoted to the music scene and to the songwriters and the people performing there, both electric and acoustic.
I wish that were true here. I don't know if it's the size of the town. I don't think that matters. Michael Anthony, if you're listening, I've been telling you, Mike, I don't know why we have to read large columns about Tony Orlando and Dawn at the Civic Center when there's all kinds of good musicians working locally here who get no recognition whatever. Well, Lon, how about you pick another tune and we'll chat a little bit more after that.
Okay, I'm going to do another... Let me try this.
I'll let you do whatever you want.
You're talking like you're leaving. You're acting like it's done. You've clenched your fists and closed your eyes and set yourself to run. Now what's the matter, baby? I guess I'll ask once more. I know it's hard to hear me since you closed the door. I never sang you a love song. I never had the time. The simple words of feeling were always hard to rhyme. Always hard to rhyme. But here I love, I'm feeling like a stranger. And here I am, love, I'm standing very dangerously close to your heart. You're talking like it's over. You can't see me at all. I've been throwing my feelings over your wall. Now what's the matter, babe? I know sometimes I'm blind. I can only care. I can't make up your mind. I never sang you a love song. Don't say I never tried. But somehow all those love songs got locked up inside. But here I am, love, I'm feeling like a stranger. And here I am, love, I'm standing very dangerously close to your heart. Talking like you leave, so I guess you'd better go. I can't say you're wrong, Mama, I really don't know. It's too late for love songs you never heard before, but here is a small one to slip beneath your door.
Lovely song.
Thank you.
Whom is that for?
That's for Jan.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Jan, I hope you're listening. I think you did that at the extent. Is that a fairly new tune?
It was written on Valentine's Day, in fact.
Wow.
It's like Blue Valentine's Day, right?
Blue
when
Valentine's
she came home,
Day.
she was just upset, just storming, because I hadn't done anything. Completely forgot about Valentine's Day, so I sat down and wrote the tune.
Well, that's a nice Valentine's present for any lady. Lon, when you're writing songs like that, how does that work for you? Do you start from an emotion, or is there a sound in your head? Is there a lyric that comes to your head? What's the process?
Well, it starts from the emotion, but it starts to turn into a song when a lyric or a piece of melody comes to mind, and it's therapy for me.
Yeah.
You know, I have the blues or whatever, and feeling real bad, and I'll write about it, and then I can hold it out in front of me and look at it, and it invariably cleans me up.
It's a catharsis, a way of kind of exercising the spirit. Hey, that's a good answer to that. Let me ask you another technical question for all the guitar pickers who are listening in tonight. When you're playing your complex moving line accompaniments, which characterize your musicianship, do you think when you're writing things, are you thinking musicologically the actual forms, or are you playing sounds, or are you just playing the guitar?
I'm playing sounds, I guess. I do chords that I don't know the names of, and I don't know the theory that leads one chord to another. There's something a little more on a gut level than that.
It's just the sounds themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you jamming often with musicians around, and you pick up on things and play them down. That's just sounds again?
Mm-hmm.
Must obviously be.
Yeah, well, I know chords. I can't read, but I can feel where things are going, I understand where things go in a very innate sense, I guess.
You got another tune. You gonna do another lady tune?
Another lady tune. Oh, yeah. Boy, this is just turning into a sad program.
Sounds good to me.
Actually, if it wasn't for this cold, I have to apologize for the cold, for not being able to hit the high notes like I'm supposed to be hitting them. It would be the one day that I have to do the program that I'm sick.
I think singing through that mask has something to do with it, too.
I'm not wearing one right now, actually.
Are you serious? You're not?
I didn't think I was.
All right.
Through an old lover's eyes, I saw the Sunday morning skies. I felt the world about to rain. In an old book of poems, I saw the sun through a steaming window pane. I came here of my own accord. I got my own reward, and I lost along the way. And she showed me who I used to be. She looked it up for me. She said these were better days. With an old friend of mine, I swept away the webs of time. I took the years down from the shelf. I turned them over in the light. I held them close and felt their bite. Another fool in search of self. Well, I know sometimes I'm easy. Greener pastures please me, but green can turn to gray. know sometimes I'm hard. You can feel the scars from a search for better days. Through an old lover's eyes, I see I've changed, but not like I thought, not like I taught myself. Well, I've bought and sold myself too many times to know the truth from lies, the jive from reason, a man for any season. Me, can you see me now? Me is wash away the years and there's still me, somewhere and somehow me. Hey, through an old lover's eyes, I stripped away my old disguise, and I crawled my bloody mile. Now standing in my own shoes, I can sing my own blues, and I can walk away. And I see through my own heart, and this is where I start to find better days, to find better days.
This is Lonnie Knight tonight on Mother's Day. Lon, this has been a kind of a laid back and mellow and maybe a little bit sorrowful and introspective evening, but I've loved it.
I'm glad.
And listeners, I hope you have loved it too. I teased you a little bit back there a couple of times about wearing a mask, and you're not wearing one now, and I appreciate that, but you have been wearing them some lately.
Well, I sure have.
What's your feeling about masks?
Oh, I think they serve a lot of purposes. I've been wearing them when I've been working at certain times and in certain dealings with people. I'm involved in business deals with friends of mine, among other reasons for wearing them, and eventually, if I do any more business with friends, I'm going to get myself a big gorilla head, a big King Kong mask, and when I'm doing business, I'll put the mask on. We'll conduct business from inside the gorilla head, and when we're done, I'll take it off, and we'll have some coffee, you know.
Or a handful of peanuts or a banana or something. That's a good idea. Masks, man, you got to have them. You got to have them in order to survive, don't you?
I think so,
Yeah.
to a certain extent, you know. Not around your friends, but, I mean, other people will form their own opinions of you anyway, so it doesn't matter what you wear.
I wear a mask. I wear this aged, weathered head as a mask. Actually, as anybody can see, I got the body of an 18-year-old. Give it back! You're getting it all wrinkled! Well, enough of the old jokes. Lon, a week from tonight, at the Extemp.
Yeah, my cold will be gone, I promise. Anybody who's coming down, you'll have to hear me scratch through these things.
I think it might be our Blueberry microphones. Sunday, May 16th, 325-seater, Coffeehouse Extempore, Lonnie Knight. If you're in Chicago, Dirty Nellies. If you're in Milwaukee, the Blue Goose, what is it?
Blue River.
The Blue River Cafe. In Mankato, in and around that area. And maybe at Williams Pub. I think that's nice. Jim Sanis, if you're listening, do it. Do it. I'd love to hear you down there. My Neighborhood Saloon. And Lon, we'll be getting together again soon, you and me.
You bet.
Frequently, off microphones for whatever kind of controlled substances we can... Oh, scratch that. No, that's not true. We'll have a good time. Thanks for a great hour. I enjoyed doing this with you.
Thank you, Bill.
You want to pick a little something to go off the airways with?
Sure, I'll do a tune for Tom Lieberman.
You will?
Sure.
All right. He's listening every Sunday night. Here one last time, Lonnie Knight. I'll be back next Sunday with Prisoner's Luck. Make it ragged.
KWB, St. Paul, Minneapolis.
Welcome